Hope you guys are doing great. So I really want to start this, by really get everybody into the state, right? So I'm gonna ask you guys, how are you guys doing, right? What you guys know, right? And then the next thing, I'm gonna ask you, are you ready? And I want you, if you ask you how you're doing, I want you to say great. And the next thing is, are you ready? You respond, yes, I am. Are you guys good? Yes. All right, how's everyone doing? Yes. All right, are you ready? Yes. No. We gotta bring up the energy. I see that's a 7. We gotta bring up the 10. We gotta wake up the other neighbors on the other room, all right? All right, so I'm gonna ask you one more game, okay? One more game. So, are you ready? All right. So, my name is Wallace, and I was actually born and raised in Benin, West Africa. I came to this country just for the American dream, and I really saw myself, going to, the path of working for someone else. I graduated from Drexel in a degree in IT. And honestly, I was actually going to that path of working for someone else. My first year in, I realized that I did not want to do that for the rest of my life. And I know a lot of us here can relate, working for someone, trading time for money. And I realized that I wasn't really sent here to this country just to slave my life away. I have a lot of people waiting for me back home who don't, they don't have things to eat, no health, no education. I'm I can't be here behind the desk and do that. So I'm so grateful for Brett and actually, Mark for holding my hand, helping me to where I am today, and helping more people all across the country. So I'll pass it to Steve as well, so we can kick it off.
How's everybody feeling? Let's go, baby. Let's go. Like Wally said, my name is Steve. My parents, they initially came here from Haiti. And so what they did was, shout out to everybody from Haiti. They told me the whole recipe for success, which was go to school, get good grades, get a safe, secure job. So I went to Carnegie Mellon University, got my first degree, then got a second degree, then got into corporate, right? Started working at the Boeing company, and I thought I was good, I thought I was solid, I thought I had it set. Realized that the recipe did not taste so good. And was in a position where I was seeing somebody, feeling committed, realized that I wasn't going to be where I wanted to be. So super grateful Kevin DeWong gave me this opportunity, this vehicle, this team, this family that really changed the trajectory of everything. So super excited. We're going to hop into it today, right? Really talk about building event to event, number 1, and then 2, essentially beginning with the end in mind. Because we want to talk about how it goes from event to event. We want to talk about essentially the mindset, the whole idea of the ABC pattern, what it really takes, and then exactly how you're going to go to the next level. So a little bit about the mindset, right? When it comes to building an event, right, you actually have to have leverage, right? You have to create massive leverage because do we want a job or do we want a business? We want a business, right? And so we want to think about the difference between 45 years planning hours and 2 to 3 year planning hours. 45 year planning hours is basically the time that you're putting in at a job, right? What is it that you can do? But Amber Yang, she always says, it's not about what you can do, that's number 1, but it's about what a team can do, right? And so it's important for us to be able to begin with the end in mind and understand what that actually means. So a quick activity, right? It's you all know Minlu, Amber Yang, we're so grateful for the Flushing organization for mentoring us, right? Basically, stand up, right? If Minlu personally introduced you, personally sponsored you into Market America, stand up. And I want you guys to take a look how many people are actually standing up right now. Take a look at the audience. But I want to ask you another question. Stand up if you are in Minlu's organization. Take a look at the room right now. Take a look at the room right now, and that is the end of mind. That is how powerful. That is how you go event to event. Because now it's a great transition towards not only just addition, but multiplication. Right? Because all these hours are now taking place that allows your business, their business to even grow and to be able to explode. So think about not only what you can do, but more so what a team can do, because that's how you create massive momentum. The momentum that you're going to have is going to create massive belief. And all these people are getting trained. That's going to take massive action, and then ultimately that action is going to lead into results.
All right, so you guys saw the exercise, and you can see how events are really key to really take us forward in this business. At the end of the day, we need to start with the creation phase. right? You can't really start this business and just decide not to do anything, right? It's not gonna work, right? It's part of the process. You have to put the action in, and we create this. And I like to use the example of a tree, because at the end of the day, when you take a tree, when the tree is really deep rooted, right? It means the roots are really there to help make sure the tree actually can have the fruit and stay there for longevity. And that's really what this business is. When you start this business, our goal for you is to actually help you create a foundation, right? Will you rather build your house on the rock, or on the sand? Of course, on the rock, where it's solid. And that's why you want to start the creation phase. And I know we have multiple things that we're going to help you with some laws of creation here, but it's really important to know that things are invisible on the ground. When you put the work in, some people don't see what you put in on the ground, in the beginning. But guess what? It's working though. That's the problem. There's a delay into the work that you put it in. And that's what a lot of people don't get. They want something instantly. We live into that microwave mentality society today, where people want something today and now. But you have to put the creation phase first, the action first. And that's what we're going to show you as well on the next slide here.
Absolutely. And so number one, right, there's a couple laws in this business. Do you guys want to know some laws? Right? Do you want to know how to govern your business? Do you want to know how to take things to the next level? Law number one, right, is a recruit is not a recruit until they get a recruit. What does that mean? It's basically, not only do you want to introduce somebody to the business, but you want to help them sponsor into the business, right? Because what do people do? For those of you who don't know my story, when I first got started, I had not only my first no in the business, then I had 5 no's, then I had 10 no's, then I had 15 no's, I had 47 no's in my first year in the business before I got my first recruit. So you see us on stage, you think that we're incredible, you think that, I can never do it, I can't be where Wally says, I can't be where all these other individuals are, but it's you can. Because once I got that first recruit, after 47 no's, what do you think I did? Hooray! I was happy, I was jumping up and down, I was the man, I was like, nobody can get me down, I was fired up. But then I realized, okay, that's it, what is happening? They quit in a week. So I was like, that worked. I was already quit in a week, all right? At the end of the day, it's all good, right? Because, the work is going to work on you until it ultimately works for you. So the work was working on me. And then I realized with more prospecting, with more recruiting, with more sponsoring, now, when I introduce another individual to the business, my goal was not only just to be happy, but more so to celebrate their success in the business, their belief in the business, their first product sales, their first profit, their first sponsorship in the business, because that was success. And when you do that, you realize that, all right, you have 2 options. You can stay cold market, or you can talk to warm market. Most people are afraid to talk to their warm market. Why? Because we're afraid of judgment. We're afraid of what people are going to say. We're afraid that they're going to literally say that we're silly, that we're in a scheme, that it's never going to work. So we want to stay cold. But let me ask you this. Would you want to be in a cold shower, or do you want to be in a warm shower? I think I want to be in that warm shower, right? And so that is the whole beauty behind it, because then you get that spark, that's when you'll get momentum, and you'll be able to explode an organization from massive reach.
All right, and it's true, because at the end of the day, you don't want us to stay in that cold market. It's something that I learned a lot from Dritan, from Greg, from Mark, because rather stay warm than cold. But you gotta also understand that all we do is all about numbers, and this is cool to see the statistic, right? Because when I understood this statistic, it just helped me know that, okay, all right, I just gotta do the work. That's it, right? Because 70%, people who start this business, right, usually are customers. They just start because of the product. They just love the purple drink, the OPC3. That's it. They just want to, just start just for the product, right? And they just recruit nobody. They just bring nobody into the business. 20% are actually social enrolls, meaning they'll come in, they'll double in a little bit, they'll bring in 1 to 2 people. And okay, listen, what? You don't want to push those people away as well, because they're doing their job, which is bringing 1 to 2 persons. They'll contribute, to what we do to the numbers. 5% are retailers. These people, right? They love retailing the product. They'll recruit by accident, just because they have a lot of customers that are using the product, and accidentally the customer will be like, oh, do you have a business behind this product? And accidentally they will recruit, right? And you have 3% who are actual recruiters, right? And they'll usually recruit between 6 to 9 people into the business, and you have the 2% that are actually super recruiters. And these are the builders. These are the ones who will take this and take it to the next level. These are the people who will be like, get out of my way, like JR would say, because I really want to build this business. No matter if you decide to leave or not, they are still in the business and build this business, right? And so, like most of the, the people, the super recruiter, generally 70% of, all the sign up, at least 3 to 10 new sign up to be enrolling new partners, for health education. So I love people to understand that if you understand these numbers, you just know that you have to put the work in. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Don't fight the numbers, right?
Absolutely, right? Have that confidence, right? And it's law number 2, right? A business, right? Basically, a Lego business is not a Lego business, right? Until you've actually driven it 4 levels deep, right? Because what did JR say? He says you want to essentially have all the nuts rise to the top as you fill the bean jar, as you go from home to home, as you go from event to event, right? So you have to really begin with the end in mind, saying that, okay, like I shouldn't be afraid of the judgment of one individual because I can see past that person, and my goal is not for them, but it's to get to the 2nd level, to the 3rd level, to the 4th level, because out of every 4 generations, you will have a Go Now UFO when it comes to the business. So though we want more UFOs, Go Now UFOs in our business, right? Running the business, coming to events, wanting to build, right? So essentially, think about that. So again, you don't celebrate it. You say, hey, let's open up your names list, right? Who do you know, right? Let's put a names list of 5 people, put a names list of 10 people. Basically, all right, if you're in a situation, right, in which now you're driving to the airport, right, your phone is at 1%, and you basically have no fuel left in your tank. Who are the first 3-5 people that you're gonna call? Right? You say that and you put them in an awareness like, all right, you want to get into the recruit because what you're trying to do is you're trying to essentially get into their low-hanging fruit. And then you go from warm, and then now you're able to explode the organization. But if you go from cold and you don't frame it to them, you don't set the right expectation, it's going to be very hard for you to be able to build this event.
Very true, very true. And going to the 3rd law is like, just piggyback at like the 2nd law. It's like a team of business isn't a team, unless you're driven like into 8 level deep, So people will say, they probably sponsor like, 1 person, 2 person to the business, and maybe that person did ABC pattern and brought like 1 or 2 as well. Like, oh, I have a team. No, you don't. No, you don't yet. Until like you have like that 8 generation deep, you don't have a team. And that's really what JR always do. Like he says, you go home to home to home to home to do this. And that's really what we do. You want a deeply rooted business, so you need to build that ABC pattern. And when I got that, we're not so deep building that as well. We're not so people like Kevin Dwan, even like, SJL as well doing this as well. You can understand that, listen, when you do that, it's strong, and there's nothing that can actually come and shake that team, because you have it really, really deep, And as a driver, you may treat like the 4th generation like a personal sponsor. So even if you drive into a 4th generation, which is like, you brought the ABC pattern to A, B, C, D, even at the D level, you need to always treat that D level as your personal sponsor. And that's what I love about this compensation plan that we have. It's 100% to infinity. Meaning that you can help like your D level as if you personally introduced them. You still get 100% credit. So why won't you actually do it? And that's what I love about like the creation phase.
Absolutely. Right? And so like, in order to onboard, right? Onboard so that way we can build into the event. It's all about setting the right expectations, because who here, you want to recruit so badly, you want somebody to join your team, that you're like, all right, guess what? Well, at least the product sells itself, right? Well, at least you don't really have to go to all the meetings. Well, at least, like anything, you can do anything and it's still going to work out. This 100% plan is incredible. So be honest, have you ever been in a position where you wanted to recruit so badly that now it's like we're afraid to be able to tell like the truth? You want to set expectations, because the number one reason why people will quit, the number one reason why people will come to the next event is because they have improper expectations. So you want to be able to say to them, hey, no, in order to be successful, you have to go to these events. Why? Because no one has ever made it successfully that's not gone to these events. You have to say that up front and understand that it's not about essentially, just getting people on and having additions, but your goal is to have long-standing multiplication, saying, hey, your job as a leader is to be able to set the expectation. You're not micromanaging. They need to know what it is what they need to do. They need to know what it is that's successful. And we know that the only thing that's going to make them successful is if they actually come out to events. So like one thing that I'll definitely write this down is like, to not like, just literally, I guess when it comes to your business, say, I will help you build your business, right? So like the first 3 letters is I will help, the middle is you, and then build your business. So what does that actually mean? It's like your new partner, you will build your business, and then you as a senior partner, I will help. So like, have them understand that. That's why you need to come to Ocean City. That's why you need to come to Icon. Well, Steve, like, if I don't go to Icon, like, am I going to be okay? Like, am I still going to be able to make it to the top? Probably not. We need to be not afraid to have these hard conversations if we want to be able to build event to event, drive deep, because people will only respect you to the degree that you respect your business. People will only respect you to the degree that you respect your business. So that is why we're so super proud, and that is why we treat people right, by making sure that they have the right expectation.
Absolutely, I mean, who do you want to work with? Because like you talk about creation within your team, you're bringing people on board. Like you want to work with the one who are willing, coachable, and hungry. And I love to actually say, people who are actually willing, and people who are actually really like they have that they're serious, right? And they're hungry, meaning like the one that are willing to just like take like whatever you're telling them to do, right? They're willing to go to work with you. And what I love to do with a lot of partners that I work with is sincerity test. Someone will come, have you ever have those partners that come, they're like, I'm gonna tear this thing up. And they come in and it's like, bro, you told me, So I like to actually give them a test. All right, I'll give them a book. This is this book. Read it and report back to me in a week. And then you call them in a week. Oh, did you read the book? Oh well, my cat died, and it's like so. They're not serious, and then you lower the assignment, and that's what I love about this sincerity test, and to get qualified people that you really want to work with as well. So.
And it's sustaining, right? It's like at the end of the day, you need to sustain when it comes to your business, because there's two things they're trying to have, right? They're trying to have speed, but you're trying to have culture, right? So as you grow in the business, you may have new 201s, you may have people starting in the business, but if you don't have anything on a week-to-week basis, so number one, to grow the people, and number two, grow the network, it's for nothing. So what do you want to do? You want to make sure that your people who are getting started, right? If you want to build into Icon, they need to be plugging into the weekly schedule. What home meetings do you have during the week where you're going to be showing the plan? Basically, what wellness events do you have going in the week in which they can plug in and learn about the products, right? So that's great in terms of growing the network, but then you need to grow people, right? Because you've heard it many times. You want to grow people because people will ultimately grow the business, right? You have to understand the business that you're in, right? It's a leadership development business, and that's what happens when you're actually building Market America. So we think about sales, selling the OPC3, it's a leadership development factory that we're building that only gets sustained by building at the events. But how can we do that on a quarter-to-quarter basis? Is if we do it on a week-to-week basis, and that's if we invite on a day-to-day basis. So understand that, and that's how you'll sustain.
Absolutely, and then you also grow your network. And I love that a lot because at the end of the day, right, the team doesn't build, a leader, right? It's a leader that actually builds a team. And, to do that, you need to plug in the people to the weekly event. A team has to have a system. And the system is what's going to help you grow this business. We have the home kickoff. You can plug, new guests, people who are looking to actually learn more about the business, some wellness presentation as well. And you can do this on a weekly basis to make your life easier. You don't want to be really the expert. Just use the system that you put in place. You have the HVP as well. Plug them into it. Let the other speaker do the job for you. And then, of course, product parties. Those are the best way to actually not only just make some money right away, instantly, but also get some recruiters as well right there because people are interested. And we had that a lot recently as well. Whether it's in Minnesota, in Utah, everywhere around the country, we've been really just doing a lot of product parties to help get sell, but also get some recruiters as well.
Yeah, and so in terms of growing people, what do people need to do? They need to learn some skills. Surprise! It's a business, right? You got to get better. We need to learn skills. A doctor needs to become a doctor. Go to medical school. A lawyer needs to become a lawyer. Go to law school. Guess what? We just need to grow some skills. So here are the 7 skills that are in this business, right? I definitely take a screenshot of this and understand if you become proficient at the first 2 skills, you easily can hit the coordinator rank, the executive coordinator rank. You're going to be able to help people do the exact same thing over and over again, right? So just jumping into this, right? Really, it's about advancing, right? Tickets, right? Tickets are going to be how you're going to be able to advance because again, you don't want to get anyone started unless they have a ticket to the next major event, unless you have that crucial conversation where you say, hey, this is what's next, this is what's needed, right? In order for you to be able to grow, right? And if you don't, know, at the end of the day, you'll never be able to say that you didn't do your job as a leader, right, to be able to help them take the next step in their business. Because again, you want to help have this business scale past your time, past your hours, past your activities, because guess what? Somebody this is resonating with, right? But like maybe the next speaker you'll resonate with more. The speaker before you'll resonate with more. There's nothing that's going to beat an environment with a culture, with a group of people, with a massive inversion, right? That's going to allow people to get to the next level.
Yes, absolutely. And you gotta grow leaders. You know, that's the only way for you to advance. At the end of the day, I'm so grateful for the leadership of Philadelphia. You know, because sometimes I'm like, yeah, you know, sometimes without those leaders, I don't think the team will be where it is today. You know, like I told you, the team is what grows the leaders is what grows actually the team. So you have to actually learn to actually grow more leaders, you know, and you gotta train people, right? You gotta read some book. You need to actually read some book. I remember, like, I think we sucked back in the day. The one thing that we were good at was just like listening to a lot of audios and reading the books. We're just professional book readers, you know. But what it did to us, like, you know, it prepared us, you know, to become good leaders. And I heard it earlier today from Jumbo, right? You know, like you gotta prep yourself, you know, to the person, like, you know, if you want a wealth, you need to prep yourself to actually be worthy of that person that's going to sustain that wealth. And that's what we did to be, you know, a good leader.
And do you know this guy? I think he's somewhere out here. I think I saw him out. He said, get 50 on your left, 50 on your right, AIS, not gonna slip, right? And it's like, and then you have a 6-figure income in order to be able to grow. But again, we talked about this. This is why you must attend GMTSS events, right? You want to be able to grow event to event, pre-purchase the tickets, go for the challenge, chairman challenge, right? The event challenges, because it's 5M philosophy, right? More tickets, more meetings means more money. Stay with me. More tickets, more meetings means more money, right? So get your people to these events, right? Because if you see, you want to just advance your business, right? You want to go from coordinator, right? Executive coordinator, senior master coordinator, you need to just go down this exact line and ask yourself, how many people do I have at this event? How many people am I going to have at the local? How many people am I going to have at the icon? Really just be black and white and say to yourself, okay, I either have it or I don't, right? Period, right? And that's how you're going to be able to grow. Because again, momentum and the belief is not created through these events. And it's all about the main sports icon, right? The biggest thing to really understand is this. I went to my first major event, right? J.R. Ridinger, he was walking through a tightrope. I had made no money. I had literally one person at the event. And literally, I'm thinking to myself, am I going to make it work? I'm over 30, like in my business. No hope, no belief. And I saw JR walking on a tightrope, almost about to fall on stage. And he said, do you believe? Do you believe? Do you believe I can do it again? Yes. I said, yes. If he can do it, then I can do it too. And that was the magic bulb, my light bulb moment. That was almost 10 years ago. And that's why I'm still here. That's why we have this school. And that is why we can take things to the next level, guys. So I'll see you guys. Get your tickets to Icon. Bring more people here. We'll see you guys all at the top. Let's get it, baby.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage from Delightful, New Jersey, Executive Coordinator Chris Smith!
Today. Phenomenal show, right? Thank you to Don and Lisa and everybody else, Mark and Lauren. This is great. So I'm going to tell you a little about my life story. Executive chef, Crown Plaza, Times Square. Yes, passionate culinary institute guy. Started school in 1995. I graduated out there in 1998. I was working in New York for about 25 years. I started downtown Marriott Financial Center, worked for Roy's New York, worked with Roy Yamaguchi, went to Hawaii with him for about 3 months, trained, came back, still at the Marriott for a while, then World Trade Center hit. I had to work for a while, came back, we were the first place to open up in, after the World Trade Center hit, and around 05, it's time for me to leave, and I got the job at the Crown Plaza Times Square. Executive chef there for 12 and a half years. Worked there, award-winning chef, worked with a lot of different chefs. And then, got a little hectic for me, working 12, 13-hour days. The job changed a lot. I became overseeing a whole operation of $20.5 million a year of food and beverage, about 80 people underneath me. And I just got stressed out, I had enough. Decided to quit, leave, didn't know what I was gonna do. Started consulting. Became a consultant executive chef. 2016, started my own business. In 2017, Christoph Consulting Chef, started going around the country, working on restaurants, resorts that are failing. And I did one job in North Jersey, and after that I got a call in California, San Francisco. Told my young lady, I was like, I'm taking this gig, I'll see you later. Went to San Francisco, it was a 1-month contract, they ripped it up after 1 month, I was there for 2 years straight. Living in San Francisco doing that, back and forth to come back and see my family in Jersey. It's kind of rough for everybody, but it was great for me. Made a lot of good money, made a lot of contacts. And my business started expanding. From in between there, I went to Missouri, went to Texas, went to Florida, went back to LA, I went to San Francisco. It's all over the place. And then I ended up in Naples, Florida, right where Darwin lives. Give it up to Darwin. I was there working on a place for about a year. And within that time, the big C hit, all right? So this is my team from New York and everywhere else. That's my team in Florida, in all black. I just go around there and I just train people. And I train the chefs and I train the cooks. I might have to fire a chef here and there. And then I take over for a while till I find somebody else. And in Naples, Florida, working out there for a while, and the big C hit, and I was still there. Florida's a little different than any place else. Everybody else shut down. We were still going. We were still rocking and rolling. And I would call back home, and I was like, what's going on out there? Like, looks like death. Everybody's in-house, and we're out here partying, having a great time. And my girl was like, oh, I don't know what you're doing. You're gonna get sick. I'm like, whatever. So we're out there having a good old time, and I got really sick. Sick for about 3.5 weeks. Gravely ill. Didn't know what it was. This was February 2020. 3 weeks in, got a little better in March, but going to work every single day. Temperature, 2 hoodies on, 98 degrees outside, and I was dying. I was cold, I was hot, I was coughing, and I'd get back on the line and work. And then, when I got better and we were sitting in the bar in the restaurant, my team was like, you're watching MSNBC, and the symptoms came out. They had all these symptoms, and they were like, Chef, you had all that. I'm like, wow, I must have had COVID. But they said no one in Naples had it. My mom would call me every day. You sure you don't have that thing? Mom, I can't have that thing if no one out here has that thing. So how do I have it? I said, I just have the flu. Weird flu, right? 3.5 weeks later. Usually flu lasts 3 days. So, fast forward to about September of 2020. Life changed drastically. I come home from Florida. I went to Lake George, did a gig. Went to New Hampshire, did a gig. Come back Labor Day weekend. Had a fantasy football draft at my house. Everybody's drinking, partying. I had 1 beer. I just didn't feel good. I said, I must be tired. I'm not going to get on the road for a while. I said, I'm going to stay home for a few weeks because I'm tired. Well, we all know now, you just don't get tired like that, right? Tired, you go to sleep, you wake up, you're fine. Labor Day, I take my daughter to the mall. I'm walking with her. I can't keep up with a 12-year-old. I'm like, come home. Tell my lady, I'm like, I'm going to urgent care because something's wrong. She said, you're never sick. I'm like, right. So she put the blood pressure cuff on my arm. It pops off, boom. I said, this thing's cheap. We got it from CVS, let's go. I'm going to urgent care. Get to urgent care, and they put the blood pressure cuff on my arm 3 times. Nurse runs out the room. I said, what's wrong with this lady, man? She's crazy. So the doctor comes in, and he was like, you have any symptoms of headaches or anything? I said, no. He said, well, you need to go to the emergency room, and you need to tell me you have chest pains, so they pull you in right away. And your blood pressure is 220 over 200. I said, all right. So I don't feel anything, no bloody nose, So I go ahead, go to the emergency room. Doctor comes in, does all the stuff. We're sitting in his room for a few hours. Female doctor comes in, she was like, I hope you packed a bag. You're staining. I'm like, what's going on? I said, you got end-stage renal disease. Your kidney failure, your kidneys are working at 10%. Wow. I was like, what's this? So now I'm in the hospital. Of course, 3 days, I'm like, woe is me, why me, God? And after the third day of pitying myself, I said, I'm gonna beat this. So I get on the scale, and I was like, whoa, what did I do to myself? I was always in the gym all the time. And I was 288. 5'9", 288, way too big. So when I got in the hospital, dialysis, put a port in my chest, all this other stuff, couldn't handle it. I was like, I can't do this. I'm throwing up. I don't want this. I can't do this. I guess I won't make it, you know. Bad patient, bad patient. So after a while, you know, got it done. I got out the hospital. About 9 days later, come out. They finally got my blood pressure evened out with 1 million pills. Come home. Got to go to dialysis 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. Did that for 3.5 years. As you would see me at different conferences, I would go and I would come late or leave early because I was going to dialysis wherever I went.
Oh my God.
So getting to the product, being a product of the product, about 1.5 years ago, my buddy, one of my best friends, Vance Holland, comes to my house with all these samples. You know, and I'm like laying on the couch, like really literally ready to die, because I had felt like trash for 1.5 years on dialysis. And everyone was like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing great. Couldn't get up, couldn't get on the ground, do 50 push-ups. I do 5 more on my face. I was like, what is going on? Literally dying on my couch for 1.5 years. Only thing I'll be looking forward to is 3 meals a day and some water. 32 ounces a day is all you can drink. It was brutal. So for 1.5 years, I just like, that was it. I wasn't gonna make it, but I would tell everybody, doing great, yeah, making it. And I really wasn't. So Vance tells me to come to this meeting with him, and we meet up with Don Martin, and I hear the whole plan, and I'm like, all right, I'm in. But I haven't worked in 1.5 years, but they called me to come back to San Francisco, and I said, I'm gonna see if I can do it. So I brought the product with me because I didn't take it. It was at my front door for probably like a month. Not even gonna lie to you. The box was sitting there and he's calling me up. Did you open it yet? Nope. And I was like, I can't take any of this, man. I got 32 ounces of liquid a day, right? Taking isotynes is gonna be 8 miles. That's 25% of my water intake. Plus, I don't know if my kidney's gonna handle it. So I was just nervous, didn't know what to do. But going to San Francisco, I said, I need something because I need energy. I gotta work. Brought it with me. Day 2 of taking it after dialysis, and I was like, called them up and I said, wow, this is a game changer. This works, this is good. I feel some energy. So, and all I was taking was the acetone, right, daily essentials. So then, let's fast forward this for like 1 year of being on the product. And I would take the daily essentials, and I would take the aloe. And then the doctor would take my blood at dialysis every week, and they were like, your potassium's high, what are you doing? I'm like, ate too much mango. So I would call up my doctor, LaToya Roberts, she's in the building somewhere. She's my personal doctor, because my other doctors would not allow me to do this. So I called LaToya, and I'm like, what should I do? She said, you gotta figure out the formulas. So I look on the back. So I figured out where I would take daily essentials, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, the day of dialysis, that takes all the vitamins, everything out of your body, right? And the other days I would just take the OPC3 and the calcium. Take a capsule aloe every single day. And my energy levels would be spiking up. And it got to a point where no one knew that I was sick. I would go to work, and I'm working for 12, 13 hours a day. Still go to dialysis, working it out. And I'm like, all attached to being a product of the product. And there's nothing better than isotonic product. And that's what I was thinking. I didn't do anything else, but I was worried about a little 10% of my kidneys not working. So 6 months ago, I got a call, and I was back in San Francisco again, and I was there from September until April 2nd, straight. I got a call in March from Penn Med, and they were asking all these questions, and they said, well, you sound like a good candidate for this kidney. But we have other candidates. So, man, I'm like, whatever. I'm not getting this, but I'm going to keep trucking along. I'm in dialysis April 2nd, and I get the call. I missed the call because I saw a 215 number. I don't know too many people in Philly. I'm like, scam call. if it's somebody important, they'll leave a message, right? That's what we all do, right? But they called my dialysis center in Delran. And the young lady who books all my flights everywhere when I have to go for dialysis, she called me up and she was like, Chris, call that lady back. I'm like, what lady? She just called you. She said she left a message. I looked at the message. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm going to give you the 411. She has a kidney for you. And I'm like, whoa. So for me, I didn't think I was getting a kidney, at least even looked at for 5 or 6 years. But when we live in New Jersey, it's like a 5 or 6 year wait. It's a little less than 3.5 years. This is all God, right? Amen. So I prayed for this every single day, right? So she called me and she's like, I hear you're gonna travel. I didn't tell her because when I first went on travel, they're like, all right, we're gonna hold your name. I said, hold my name? Yeah, because you're away, so if you get a kidney, we won't call you then. Oh, no. I never called them again. No, you're not gonna hold my name. Something's gonna tell wherever I'm at, I'm gonna find a way to get home. So they called and they were like, I heard you're in California. I'm like, yes. She's like, can you get home today? I said, absolutely. She said, all right, you're gonna have surgery following Tuesday. You need to be here. You need to be at Penn Med on Thursday. We're gonna pre-op you and everything else. I got about a minute left. So I booked the flight, called my family, went to the job, told them I was leaving. Sayonara. I'll be back when everything gets better. Packed my bags, got on the flight, landed in Newark at 2:30 p.m. that Tuesday. Thursday went to the hospital, got pre-op. Tuesday had surgery on the 9th. On the 11th, I was out the hospital. I was out of bed the first 12 hours from surgery. I walked up the steps the first 24 hours from surgery. They were like, you are amazing. You were going home on Friday. But the biggest thing was, after they were on the waiting room, the doctor went to my family and said, all right, surgery's done. His kidney didn't kick in yet. But he's healthy, he's gonna be fine. And when they came back, the doctor said, whoa, his kidney kicked in 40 minutes. We've never seen anything like this before. When they woke me out of anesthesia, they said, you urinated 1.5 liters, and I was adamant, Vance was in there. I was adamant, but they were like, you're gonna be fine. From then on in, this is less than 2 months, I'm here with you guys. I gotta use up my life. We're going to take Mark American to the top. Let's go! Let's go! Thank you. Have a nice day. Great evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Director from Eastern Maryland.